Hey, good morning guys from a very toasty South Dakota. It's pushing almost 90 and it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning yet, so it's going to be a toasty one this morning. So I thought I'd better get outside and do some filming before it just got too hot. So what are we going to be cooking this morning? Well, I'm going to share with you a way that I like to make zucchini on the grill. And this is because I had a request from a lady called Judy in the UK, who asked me if I could come up with some different sides, you know, for your barbecue. So that's what this is. So these things are really abundant at this time of the year, at least in the Northern Hemisphere they are. And we get given these by our neighbours all the time in the summer, which is absolutely wonderful. But they're also in season at the supermarket, and in keeping with, you know, the channel philosophy. It's low price, easy on the budget, healthy and simple to make. So pick some of these up, or if some neighbours give you some, now you're going to have a way that you can cook them up for your next grill. So before we dive into our ingredients and get cooking, I want to spend a few seconds just to say a big thanks to all of you that have been subscribing and viewing the videos. It's just wonderful, and it's really, really encouraging for me to see the comments and the likes. I really, really appreciate it. So thanks so much for that. We're up to almost 4 school buses, which I think is just amazing. So anyway, big shout out to everybody who subscribed. So here's the ingredients then. As you can see, very, very simple. We're not going to get overly elaborate with the seasonings. So we've got our courgettes or zucchini, depending on where you're from. I've got some coarse ground black pepper. If you can't find that, you know, you can use your own pepper mill. It just seems to work better if the pepper is more coarse. You won't over season it by accident if you use the coarser grains. And as always, my favorite kosher salt. And then I got some dried thyme. You can add any spices, honestly, that you like. But I want to keep this really kind of simple. Got some olive oil. So I've had the grill heating up, it's up to 500. So let's just slice up these zucchini first, and then we'll pop them on the grill and I'll show you how we do that. So the first thing we want to do is just get these zucchini on a chopping board and top and tail them. So take that little piece of stem off and the tip, because we're outside. We can give those to the deer and the bunnies. So there you go, just that simple. Next thing we're going to do is just cut this straight down the middle into 2 halves. And it really doesn't matter, you know, how you do it. Just straight down the middle, like that. Do another one. Someone asked me the other day when I said I was going to be doing this if you need to take the seeds out. I personally don't. I don't know if that's an issue. The seeds almost sort of dissolve anyway when you cook them. So there you go. That's all there is to that. Now, I'm going to grab a baking tray that I've lined with some tin foil, and going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on there. Never have too much olive oil. And then we'll season this pan. Just a big healthy pinch of salt and pepper and the thyme. And next we're just going to put these in the baking tray. We're not putting them in the grill like this yet. All I'm doing this for is I want to drizzle more olive oil on the tops of those zucchini and season the tops. And the oil will hold on to these spices, seasonings, like so. All right, next step, over to the grill. So what we're going to do now is we want to get some colour on these, and before we actually finish baking them under the grill, I'm just going to lay these on top of the grill to get some nice grill marks on them and caramelise some of those natural sugars, and it really enhances the flavour. So our grill's lovely and hot, and if you lay these at an angle and then after a few minutes you turn them in the opposite direction, I'll show you what I mean in a sec, you'll get those nice grill marks. All right, close that down. So we put the lid back down on them, and I'd let them go about 4 or 5 minutes. Now, if you add your zucchini in the refrigerator, they're going to be cold, so it might take a little bit longer than that. But these have been out on the kitchen counter overnight, and I just looked at them at 3 minutes, and they're just starting to get some nice brown bars on them. So we'll give them a little bit longer before we turn them again, and then we'll give them another 5 minutes. So let's just turn these now the other direction. I'll show you, we're getting a little bit of brown on there. We're going to turn them opposite direction. Definitely use your spatula for this, and if your grill is like mine, some parts are hotter than others. We just look, some of them are cooking a little bit faster. But then we're just going to get the lid back down again, give them another 5 minutes. So that's another 5 minutes gone by, and if you look now, you're getting some nice grill marks on there. That's what we want. So actually what we're going to do now is take these off of the grill and put them back on the baking sheet. Give it another drizzle, some olive oil, and I'm just going to top up the seasoning just a little bit. Not going to add any extra salt, but I am going to add a little pepper and thyme. And now they go back under the grill, get the lid back down so we don't lose all of our heat. We're going to give those 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Let's just grab a fork. Try the thickest ones, because if they're cooked, then we know the thinner ones will be as well. And the fork just pushes all the way through them without any resistance at all. So they are good. So what I'm going to do now, I just thought of this, just going to sprinkle some grated mozzarella on those. I've turned the heat off on the grill. Just keep the lid down on that. There's enough heat in there that cheese will melt, and then we'll have a taste. So here's how they turned out. They smell wonderful. I think they look terrific. One of those got a little bit toasty, but actually I like that. It brings the sweetness out in the vegetable. All right, let's have a little taste. They're really tender. Don't need a knife at all to cut them. That is so good. It's got that nice umami flavour to it, especially if you get some colour on them first. It really adds a complexity to what would otherwise be a fairly bland vegetable. Really, really tasty. Which made me think, I've shared this, you know, as a side dish to have at a barbecue. I wondered what it would be like if we put one of these into a hot dog bun. And I'm not a big tomato sauce user, ketchup user, but this is comfort sort of food. This is summer grilling sort of food. So let's get one of those little zucchinis in there. Got to have Coleman's mustard, of course, being English. Little drizzle of that. Nobody told me that they'd put a new ketchup thing in the fridge. We keep it real on Aprons On. This never happens to Gordon Ramsay, does it? Oh well. There you go. Let's give a little bit of ketchup on there as well. And let's see, I've never tried this before, so this is a first for me. You know what? This is really bizarre. If you were blindfolded and ate this, I think you'd be hard pressed to know that there wasn't a hot dog in it. Now, I'm not talking about really good quality brats, you know, that, yeah, you could tell. But just your common Mark I hot dogs that you buy at the big box store, I don't think you can tell. This is brilliant. Sorry, I shouldn't be eating with my mouth full. So an unintended consequence of this, if you like, is now you've got a really tasty vegetarian dish to serve your friends the next time you barbecue. You can even make it vegan if you didn't put the cheese on top. I'm just thinking what else would go fantastic on this actually, and I'm going to ramble on. Anchovies. I bet if you put one anchovy inside one of these, it would be off the chain. So, thank you so much for watching. Do give this a try, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do. We're having a lot of fun on Aprons On, and I really appreciate all of you that have subscribed so far. So that'll be it from me this morning. This is going to be my brunch. Got a nice cup of tea. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. See you real soon with another video. Cheers.